Hello, everybody. Oshley here, and welcome back to Oshi Reads. And in today's video, I'm actually going to be talking about my low buy plans for 2024. Now, you notice I didn't say no buy. I will link the previous no buy videos that I have done somewhere up here or down in the description box if you haven't watched them already. But there is a reason that I have switched from a no buy to a low buy for 2024, and I'm going to go into those reasons shortly. Now, if you haven't seen my first no buy video, I do recommend you go watch that. It was a no buy that I planned several years ago, and we could do a separate video talking about, if that was successful or not, what happened, etc. There were extenuating circumstances around that particular no buy, specifically the pandy. I don't know what you're allowed to say or not say on YouTube anymore, but C19 situation. So I can definitely talk about that in a different video, but I will be doing a low buy for 2024, and stick around if you want to hear me talk about it. So first things first, I feel like when it comes to my shopping addiction, which I now realize was an addiction that I had, I am not 100% in recovery. Like I'm not 100% recovered from that. I'm not going to lie to you. I still do find that retail therapy is something that I indulge in from time to time. I still find myself recklessly purchasing things that I then later realized that I didn't really need or that were superfluous, or how you really know that you have a shopping addiction when you purchase something and then you realize that you already purchased it. That's when it gets really bad. So just due to the events of the previous years since C19 and everything that happened around that with my mental health and everything that's happened in my life since then, I have definitely backslidden and have kind of slipped back into a shopping addiction, and I am fully aware of that. I am not somebody that is in denial or that is not aware that this is a problem. I definitely think that's step one, recognizing that you have a problem and also wanting to fix that problem and wanting to come up with solutions. And for me, instead of going cold turkey and doing a no buy, I am going to be doing a low buy. And that's because there are still things that I'm well aware that I will be spending money on. And mostly those things are experiences and trips. So I am soon to be a godmother of 3 beautiful tiny little angels, and I love to visit them. They don't live anywhere near me. They live states away, and I have to take a plane to go visit them. Those trips cost money. So I don't want to restrict myself and say I'm doing a complete no buy, because I want to feel free to plan as many trips as I want, even just local trips to visit my Black Pros girls in Houston. I want to be able to do that without feeling guilty and feeling like I'm doing something wrong. And outside of trips, experiences. I want to be able to go to the movies if there's a film coming out that I really want to see. I want to feel free to go out to eat with my friends if I want to. I want to feel free to go to events if I want to go out. There's definitely been a lack of socialization in that sense for the last several years. And I've just been feeling the urge to explore and get out of my house more. I'm very much a homebody. I love being in my home, but I do think that in 2024, I want to make an effort to actually visit more places in my area. There's so many great resources where I live, so many cool things to do, and I feel like I don't take advantage of it much. So I definitely don't want to do a no buy, because then I wouldn't be able to indulge in those things. Now, the number one thing when you decide to do a low buy or a no buy is you want to identify what your goals are. For me, I have 2 goals. My number one goal is to really work on my shopping addiction and my impulse buying. I definitely want to reduce that. I do think that I have gotten a lot better with my impulse buying. I've noticed in recent months, I've been very frugal and careful, mostly spurred on by the current state of our economy, just how expensive everything is. Groceries are extremely expensive. Rent is sky high. Just everything has gone up. And because of the price increases, that has made me a lot more conscientious and very, very frugal in a sense, more frugal than I was in the past. And so my impulse buying has been cut, I would say, in half, like 50%, because before I hit buy, I really think, do I need this? Can I wait, a couple weeks? Can I wait even a couple months? And then if I can wait a couple months and it's like, did I really need it? Because so I'm kind of at a place where I don't purchase things needlessly. I think about them, I put in my cart, and I really think about it. There's so many things that are in my cart, especially on Amazon, that I've just been thinking and thinking and thinking and holding on to, and I have not bought them yet. And, if 2, 3 months go by and I still want it, then I'll buy it, or I'll wait for it to go on sale or to drop in price, things like that, or if there's a coupon. So I do think that my impulse buying has been cut in half. And I really want to save. I feel like saving money is very important, especially with the state of our world right now. We're in very uncertain times, and nobody really knows what's going on or what's going to happen. People are feeling very hopeless with the state of the economy, and I'm specifically speaking of just us here in the United States and North America. There's a feeling of unease in the air. I don't know if y'all feel it when you're out and about. There's like this tension, this underlying tension of unease and fear of the future. So I think this is a great time to start saving, and if you haven't started, to continue saving if you have. And so those are my 2 goals: to cut back on my impulse buying and impulse purchases, and to save. And kind of like a bonus of that, it's not a direct goal, but a bonus is to regulate my my emotional buying. So when we talk about retail therapy, and I discuss this at length in my previous videos, so I'm not going to go into it too much here. But when you talk about retail therapy, it happens because you're trying to fill a void, an emotional void. Some people shop when they're happy, when they're sad, when they're depressed, when they're bored. That's a huge one, boredom. Because you see an ad on Instagram or Facebook or TikTok. TikTok is huge right now with people buying stuff because there's so many influencers that are just pushing things on you, and you're like, oh my God, this is amazing, it's amazing, it's amazing. So many products have gone viral because of TikTok, and people being like, you have to have this, primer or makeup thing or skincare especially, or a gadget or whatever it is, beauty tool. TikTok has made spending even worse, in my opinion. So that is kind of like an outlier goal, like a bonus goal that I feel will come about from this low buy, is just finding other ways to fill that emotional void, finding other things to do when bored, learning to ignore ads on social media and online, learning to ignore the latest viral product and viral item that you just have to have because of TikTok, and recognizing that the FOMO is not real and it's just a feeling, and it will pass. It will pass. So yes, so those are my goals for my low buy. Now let's talk about my rules. So my number 1 rule is to really cut back on eating out. I have been doing a lot better. I'm not gonna lie. There was a time where I ate out 3 to 4 times a week, whether it was ordering and picking it up or the dreaded delivery. And delivery fees have tripled, I feel like, in the last 3 years. And things add up because there'll be a delivery fee, a convenience fee, then you have to tip. And I tip generously. I'm not going to just tip my driver for Uber Eats or DoorDash or whatever. I'm just not going to tip them the bare minimum. I'm going to tip like 20% and more, right? So everything's definitely gone up. The cost of the food has gone up, and all of that adds up to the point where you used to pay like maybe $15 to $20 for a meal with delivery fees and the price of the meal itself and tip has now gone on to like $30, $40, which is insane for one meal. So because of the inflation on that, I have noticed that I have been a lot less eager to eat out and to get delivery. It just doesn't happen as much as it used to. And if I do, I make sure to go pick it up myself half the time, just to cut down on the additional fees that make it so exorbitant. So my goal is to cut down. I would say I've already cut down 50%. So I want to take that remaining 50%, cut it even more. I would say if I could eat out like 25% of the year as opposed to where it is now, that would be amazing. I'm not sure what the math on that is, but I'm thinking like maybe once or twice a month versus 3 times a week. Even once a week would be a huge improvement. So that is my first rule. Is it an Oshi Reads video if the dogs don't start barking? My second rule is that I really want to make it a goal to finish things. I see all the time when beauty influencers do empties videos where they like try to finish up products and then show everyone what they've used up and how they feel about them. I'm using that as motivation to really focus on using up all my skincare products without buying more. Like I said, not falling into the viral TikTok skincare product of the moment, right? But trying to finish up all my skincare products before buying more and really, really using each product. And I have a tendency to have multiple toners, multiple serums, multiple moisturizers, when realistically, you only really need one of each to really be able to see long-term results on your skin and be able to tell if that particular product is actually working for you, if it's beneficial for your skin. When you skip around a lot between different serums and toners and moisturizers and actives, it's very hard to know what your skin likes and what your skin is just tolerating, what your skin loves. And for me, I only want to repurchase products that my skin loves, not just likes or tolerates, because that's just a waste of money. So I am focusing on empties, Operation Empties. I'm going to use up as much skincare as I can in 2024 without repurchasing. I'm also somebody that is really into nail polish, and it's something that I've been in and out of over the years, but I'm back really into it now. And I've just noticed about myself that I only really like specialty polishes and polishes that come from more boutique brands. I'm not so much into like the Sally Hansen's and the Revlon nails and even OPI and Essie. Nothing against those brands. Sinful Colors, nothing against those brands. But I've noticed that I'm really into specialty nail polishes, boutique shops, specialty colors, anything that's like holographic or that's flaky, or especially with a sparkle on it. I am all about it. And plain colors, like just like a plain red or plain blue or plain green, I've noticed over the years that I've gravitated away from, and I'm really now into more of the special colors that you don't see every day and that are more unique. So now knowing that about myself, I'm really going to cut back on purchasing just random nail polishes that I'm guilty of. If I'm at Target or I'm at Walmart or I'm at Sally's, which is a beauty supply store that we have here, I'm very, very tempted to just buy nail polish because I love nail polish, and I'll see like a pretty blue or a green or a purple. I'm like, ooh, but that's not what I like to wear. I like to wear the more specialty shades and the more unique shades. And I would rather save my money because some of those boutique brands are expensive, like $15. $15 for a bottle of nail polish, something this big. So now that I know, I will save my money and skip out on the more popular brands and the more drugstore brands and just save my money for the boutique polishes. And also, I tend to wear the same color palettes over and over and over again. So instead of just buying these colors that I want in the moment, and then I end up never wearing them. So my goal for 2024 is no basic nail polish buys. Just focus on the specialty brands, and also not to go overboard on those either. I have a new rule that I have to wear every single new polish color I've acquired at least once before I'm allowed to buy new ones. And I think that's a general overall great rule for any type of low or no buy, is if you have multiples of something, to try to use them all up before repurchasing, or if you've recently purchased, to try to kind of make your way through what you've purchased before buying more, especially if it's something like nail polish. This also goes for me for records, like LPs. I've gotten really into records recently and purchasing LPs, usually from my favorite artists and albums that I may own in like my cloud, like I own digitally, but I just want an LP of it. For my low buy this year, I really want to stick to just the classics. So for example, like Michael Jackson Thriller, or like Britney Spears Baby One More Time LP, like things like that, and stay away from newer LPs, like newer artists and things of that nature, but stick more to my tried and true favorites and classic albums that I love, that I know I'm gonna love, because LPs are expensive and there's nothing worse than spending, you know, a good $30 to $40 on an LP, and or like a vinyl record, and then only playing it once, or, you know, almost never playing it. It's very expensive to only play one time. That's why I like to get like albums I know that I already love. That way I know the probability of me replaying that vinyl is very high. So that is one of my rules as well. Another overall general rule is this is something that I also did during my no buy years ago, is to limit the amount of access I have to purchasing things. So deleting apps off of my phone, apps like fast fashion apps like Shein, H&M, Forever 21, even less fashion brands like Abercrombie and Fitch. I really like their jeans. Temu, the dreaded Temu. So cheap, so accessible, so dangerous. I've already made like over 16 orders from Temu just this year. So deleting those apps, yeah, like deleting certain apps off your phone, limiting your access. So it's like you actually have to go to a computer, a laptop, tablet, and go that extra mile to go on those sites in order to purchase something. Another big thing is the Amazon. Oh, the Amazon app is dangerous, especially if you have Amazon Prime, especially if you have one-click settings, like one-click buy. Deleting credit cards that are saved and stored on certain sites. And I know if you use the Google Chrome browser, it'll save a lot of things. It'll save a bunch of credit cards if you ask it to, and it makes it very, very easy to shop, because even if you're having second thoughts, once you hit that credit card box, all of a sudden auto-populates your card information, and that just makes it even easier to want to follow through with the purchase. But when you have that 2 to 5 seconds to get up, go get your wallet, get your card out, there's a process that happens there that kind of decreases the chances of you going through with the purchase if you're already on the fence about it or unsure about it, or if you know you're not supposed to be buying anything. So yes, deleting all those autofills off of browsers is a lifesaver. So yes, I'm trying to think if there are any other rules. I feel like these rules are general and broad enough that most people can follow them. I'm not into buying like home decor. I'm good with the decor I already have, and I'm not into like a lot of knickknacks and things cluttering up my space, so that's not a danger for me. And clothes is a big thing, but I bought so many. I've bought so many clothes between 2021 and this year that the thought of buying more clothes just isn't appealing to me. So that's not really a danger zone for me. Now I say that, but then Abercrombie has a sale, or like Aerie has a sale, and I'm there, which is bad. But again, unsubscribing from emails from stores that you know tempt you, just completely unsubscribe so you don't get those sales notifications. Opting out of those text messages, go ahead and say stop and send it so that they can stop sending you the flash sale notifications, because that just makes things worse. Especially stores that tend to have huge blowout sales like Victoria's Secret, Bath and Body Works. If you know you are a candle buying hoe, unsubscribe. Just unsubscribe. That way you don't get the notifications and you just won't know. Also, making it a point to wear everything in your closet, putting things out so you can see them. Because if you are a shopaholic like me and you have a shopping addiction like I do, you have bought so many things and they're just stuffed in places and hidden away that you don't even know what you have. So go to your closet, make sure you can see everything, get everything hung up, pull everything out, make sure you can see all your shoes, your jewelry, make sure your jewelry's, you know, an eyesight where you can see. So you're not thinking, oh my God, I need to buy this, when 9 times out of 10, you probably already own it. I think that's it. I'm not gonna be buying any electronics in 2024. I'm not getting a new phone. I'm not getting any new devices of any kind. I was really tempted to get a Robo vacuum, but I don't need it. I have a perfectly good vacuum, and while a Robo vacuum does sound appealing, a lot of the rugs in my apartment are textured rugs, and I just don't feel like that would be a good idea with a Robo vacuum. The rugs I have now have to be like very carefully vacuumed and things like that, because they're all like fuzzy rugs. So I was just like, no. Yes, of course, it could make my life easier, but it's not needed. And I won't be buying, like, thankfully I bought a laptop last year, so I don't need a new laptop. So yeah, there would be no electronics purchased in 2024. Books. You guys have probably been waiting for me the whole time to talk about books. Now, the reason I totally spaced on books is my book addiction. My book buying addiction is something that I have successfully cured. I say that now and then I'm going to be like, you guys. But in the sense that I no longer buy large amounts of books at once. Now, if I do, it'll be something like, you know, my last video, like my nostalgia haul, where I just go through this phase of wanting to own certain books. And they're usually books I've already read. But buying new books and buying a lot of new books at one time is something that I no longer do, thanks to Kindle Unlimited, which I utilize a lot. And my library, my local library, utilize your local libraries, y'all. It'll save you so much money. I can honestly say that I have broken my book buying addiction. I now really only buy books from authors that I love, and one book at a time, typically. And I'm very conscientious about what I buy, because I'm now in this phase of my life where the only books I want on my shelves are books that I've genuinely read and enjoyed, and or books that are to be read. No middle ground. So as I go through my to be read stack, if I come across a book that I didn't really enjoy as well, I will donate it. I'll donate it to the library. I'll give it away to a friend. I just want my collection to be more curated. I feel like I have graduated from being a book collector back into being a reader, because that's kind of how I was when I was younger. I utilized the library a lot. My family, we just didn't have a lot of extra money for me to just buy all these books. And so I was very heavily a library user, and I only really had books on my shelves that I had already read and that I loved. And I feel like it's a full circle moment, and I've slowly made my way back to those habits. Makeup, I've gotten really back into lip gloss lately, and I bought a ton. And I don't foresee buying any more anytime soon. I'm definitely trying to use up all the new stuff you've bought before buying new ones. Same thing with my makeup. I've recently started wearing makeup again. I got out of the habit during the pandy, and I've recently gotten back into it because it's just wasteful to have so much makeup that just doesn't ever get used, and it just is sitting around for months and months and months, and it makes me feel horrible. So I've started wearing my makeup, and I am determined to hit pan on all of my palettes, and I'm determined to use up all of my blushes and bronzers and highlights and everything before purchasing more. I have no desire to purchase new makeup. Starbucks gets my money, y'all. They get my money. And another reason why I'm doing a low buy, I go to Starbucks a lot, and it comes in waves. It comes in waves. Some months I hardly go, and I bring my own coffee or tea to work, and I'm really good about that. And then other months I go almost every day, and I want to allow myself the freedom to make that choice and not feel guilty And getting a Starbucks is something that genuinely brings me joy. I mean, it's so expensive now with inflation, it's insane. But it's something that genuinely brings me joy that I enjoy. Joy that I enjoy. And I don't want to curtail it in any way. I feel like I've gotten really good at regulating that and being like, okay, done too much this month. Now for the next 2 months, we're going to cut that down. So I'm not so much worried about that. I have been in a place of getting Starbucks a lot, and that's because their marketing gets me every year, and those Christmas cups are so good. So good. I mean, I have a Starbucks. I'm looking at a Starbucks cup right now that I have in the corner because I got Starbucks this morning. So I don't want to limit myself with Starbucks. I'm going to let it rock. Gifts for people. Again, why I'm doing a low buy. I want to be allowed to spoil the people in my life. Again, I have my third godchild on their way. I want to be able to really go all out and spoil that new kid. And my friends, I love to spoil my friends with gifts for their birthdays. And just because gifts, I want to feel free to do that. So hence why I'm doing a low buy versus a no buy. Subscription services, oh my goodness. I think I've gotten pretty good at regulating this too. I try to only keep 1 to 2 active subscriptions at a time. Now, as y'all know, there's Disney Plus, Hulu, Netflix, Paramount Plus, Amazon Prime. There's so many. And so I try to keep only 2 at a time. And if I notice that I have more than 2, I'll cancel one for a certain amount of time. I kind of hop around. I'm not loyal to any one subscription service. I hop around. I may cancel Hulu/Disney Plus for a couple months, then go back to it. I may cancel Netflix for a couple months and go back to it. I may cancel Amazon Prime. So I'm pretty good at regulating that. So I definitely understand that you save a lot of money. Now, one thing that I plan on saving a lot of money on is Audible. I have been a loyal Audible customer off and on for a long time, since like 2014, 2015. And I have noticed now that if you have Spotify Premium, you have access to certain audiobooks. That is going to save me so much money because I already pay for Spotify Premium. And now I can just put my Audible on pause or cancel it and just utilize Spotify. Let me know if you guys know more about that. Are there any hidden fees or something? I haven't really looked into it too deeply. I just saw an ad, and so I'm really excited about that. So let me know if there are any like hidden bylines or fees involved, or if it's simply just that Spotify Premium membership opts you into an Audible library that's quite extensive. So let me know because I haven't done my research yet. Jewelry. I bought so much jewelry last year, and because I bought so much jewelry last year and earlier this year, I have not felt tempted to buy any jewelry at all this year, and I plan on keeping it that way because a lot of the jewelry that I bought last year, I haven't even worn some of it, y'all. It's so bad. So I will not be buying any new jewelry. Alcohol. Alcohol is something, I'm not really a habitual drinker. I'm more of a social drinker. From time to time, I may purchase a bottle of wine. I may purchase tequila and make a margarita. Not often, just from time to time. When I go out with friends, I typically will have 1 to maybe 2 drinks, and I don't go out with friends a lot, maybe once a month, once every other month. Like I told y'all, I'm a homebody, which is something I'm trying to change in 2024. So alcohol is something that I already self-regulate myself. I'm not going to be on a 0 buy for that because I'm pretty good at self-regulating and I'm not a habitual drinker, so it's not really an issue. All right, this has been a very long video and it's going to be a hell of a time editing this, but if you have stuck around to the end, thank you so much for watching, and comment below if you're going to be doing a low buy or no buy this year. If I've inspired you to do that, let me know what your budgeting and shopping plans are for 2024, and let me know if you feel like these rules are rules that have helped you in the past, if you've ever attempted a low buy or a no buy, or if you've heard some new rules that you haven't heard before. Definitely let me know. Give this video a like, please. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell if you like what you saw today and you want to see more of me. And I will catch y'all in my next video. Bye.